afternoon, Mr. Campbell. I'm Mr. Scott. It's glad to meet you in person.
Oh, hi, Mr. Scott. It's good to meet you as well.
How was today's class?
It was pretty difficult again today, but I'm glad you're here today, and we're getting together to plan for an intervention strategy for Levi's.
Yeah, as I understand your situation from your emails, so Levi's is an autistic student in your business class. Is that correct?
That is, yeah. He's doing fine academically, but he's having some difficulty with outbursts in the classroom on most days. He'll interrupt with a lot of unrelated questions. He'll laugh at a very high volume without really any reason to. I've noticed that not only am I starting to sort of lose patience with him, but also my other students have started to become visibly upset by his outbursts.
I see. Well, I do have a plan that I'd like to try with Levi's. I'll run it by you. We'll see what you think. Have you heard of self-management strategies before, or behavioral contract?
I've heard the term before, but I'm not really familiar with either of them. Do you mind just kind of taking me through it?
Yeah, don't worry. That's actually why I'm here. I have a plan here to go over with you. We'll get these programs underway. Essentially, I've chosen self-management because, based on your description of Levi's, he seems pretty capable, and there's pretty minimal demands that we'll place on him in this intervention. And because there's no other staff presence in your room like an EA, self-management is the best option given the limited personnel available.
Now, is this something that you would come in and do yourself, or what would be my role, for example, in this intervention?
Well, you have a big role actually in this intervention, and I'll go over the program step by step with you.
Oh, great. Yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing your ideas. I've got that baseline data here that you asked about. Essentially, we're looking at Levi's averaging about 12 outbursts per class. I've spoken to some of his other teachers, and they've said similar things about his conduct.
Okay.
And during one class, I counted 15 inappropriate interruptions.
15. I can see why you're looking into interventions to deal with this behavior. Well, based on my own experience and studies, self-management as a behavioral intervention does seem to work well, even in cases like this.
Okay, let's hear it.
Okay. So first, you're going to have a meeting with Levi's, discuss his behavior, give him specific examples of the behavior in question, discuss why it's inappropriate, especially in the classroom. Then you're going to come together to write a behavioral contract. Here are some ideas, actually, regarding how to write a behavioral contract. Read it over. Tell me if you have any questions.
Now, I see here it says reinforcers. What is it? What exactly are those?
You can almost think of reinforcers almost like prizes. Things like candy, free time, the chance to listen to music in class. So you're going to talk to Levi's, you're going to find out which things he likes, and they're going to help motivate him during this process.
Well, I know he likes to chew gum. It's something that I don't usually allow in my class, but I'd be more than willing to make an exception to that rule and use that as a reinforcer by letting him chew gum in class.
Yeah, that's perfect. It's cheap. It's easy. It's an idea that you could definitely present to Levi's.
So, if we went that way, how would Levi's get points for this token economy mentioned in the instructions here? And how do we track his behavior?
Okay, that's two good questions. They're actually both related. After you've developed the behavioral contract with Levi's, you'll begin daily tracking of Levi's inappropriate verbal outbursts. So both you and Levi's will be given one of these tracking sheets every class period. And throughout the class, you'll both cross off a happy face every time that Levi's interrupts your class with one of his verbal outbursts. And at the end of class, you'll compare your tracking sheets, address any discrepancies between them. And are you following me so far?
I think so. But what should I do if, let's say, I notice a verbal outburst and Levi's he fails to mark it on his sheet?
Well, yeah, it may be necessary, especially in the beginning, to verbally prompt Levi's to mark it on his own sheet. Then at the end of class, you can count the happy faces, compare. Try to base your final count off of his sheet, just to make him feel more involved, more empowered, especially if he's managing the data accurately. Then the remaining happy faces get added toward a tally that's part of the token economy system.
Okay, so Levi's and I both are measuring his behavior every class.
Yep.
We compare our results at the end of class and then add to that token economy any remaining happy faces for each day, right?
Yeah, that's right. On top of that, I would suggest each day during your meeting, provide some verbal praise to Levi's. Just a little added reinforcement, thanking him for his efforts.
It sounds easy, but is there more? Like, what am I missing here?
Well, you will be expected to maintain an ongoing graph. It's actually very easy, just a single subject line graph. Just measuring his verbal outbursts each class, and over time you'll be able to see the changes. You can show Levi's this graph as well. Show his improvement over time, a little extra encouragement.
That doesn't seem that difficult. How long would this process typically take?
I'm thinking that we could continue measurements every class for maybe 2 months. That might equal about 40, 45 individual daily trials. By the end, I wouldn't be surprised if we could bring Levi's outburst behavior to complete extinction.
That sounds great. I'm curious. While I'm doing this, will you have any further role in this plan?
Well, I have included the teaching protocol for you. It has all the instructions for maintaining the intervention. You have my email if you have any questions. I will be observing your performance on several occasions just to guarantee that the program is being followed as designed. Actually, I have a checklist here, and I'll use this to evaluate your performance. You can almost think of the checklist like a to-do list. If you follow each of these steps, you'll be conducting the intervention as it's been designed. Questions?
No, I see. It seems pretty reasonable. So I'll have a meeting with Levi's every day and discuss the results, right?
Yeah, that's the plan. I understand that you may be busy, especially at the end of class, but do try to make an effort to just look at the sheets, thank Levi's for his effort, and add the score to his token economy.
If this works, other teachers I could see possibly being interested in this as well, in this kind of intervention.
Yeah, you're probably right. I thought of that already. Be a great path towards generalization, which essentially means that Levi's exhibits the desired behaviors in all environments. After this, you would actually possess the skills to show other teachers how to implement the program.
Oh, great. Do you mind if we just review them one more time?
Yeah, sure. So first, you design the behavioral contract with Levi's. This contract will define the behavior that you want to eliminate, discuss why you want to eliminate it, include Levi's own goals in this regard, and remember to include the rules for the token economy system in this contract.
I think I understand that. So each class, I'll print off 2 of these tracking sheets with the faces, one for Levi's, one for me. Then we each track his outburst separately, right?
Yeah, that's right. So you'll track the outburst by crossing off the happy faces on the tracking sheet. Then you'll add the remaining faces to the token economy at the end of each class.
Okay, and you also suggest I meet with Levi's at the end of each class and talk about the results and definitely praise the efforts that he's made.
Yeah, that's right. I highly suggest doing that. Remember to make the additions to his token economy as well. Also, over time, you may actually want to reduce the number of happy faces on the tracking sheet. So as he improves, we want to decrease the impact that the token economy has on his behavior. So by having less happy faces available, he gets less points towards the token economy and lessening the reinforcer.
Should I mention in the initial contract that eventually I'll be reducing the number of points?
Well, you could, or you could mention it during one of your after-class talks. But it would be a good idea to give him some warning that you will be making the change.
Right, and if this works, you think I could share this intervention with other teachers who work with Levi's?
Oh yeah, definitely. As we already discussed, that'd be a great idea for improving generalization. You seem to have a good grasp of how the program will work. It really is pretty simple. Would you like me to be with you when you create the behavioral contract and go over the program with Levi's?
No, you've been really helpful. I think I get it. I could probably get through it on my own. But I'll definitely email you and let you know how it went, and I'll also get you a copy of the contract we come up with.
Alright, just remember I will be making a few trips in to observe your class, and we'll evaluate how the intervention is growing through the checklist.
Yeah, of course. I really hope this works, you know. Levi's could really benefit from learning better self-control.
Yeah, that is the goal. I look forward to hearing how your initial meeting with Levi's goes, and keep me in the loop, Mr. Campbell.
Of course, we'll talk soon.